Mark, you got any good analogies for the differences between SEO and PPC that you like?
I don't really have any analogies. It's just that I think PPC is something that you can leverage to try to drive traffic immediately, traffic and leads almost overnight. And so what happens is once you're able to quickly identify what's working for you, what's generating leads and revenue, you can then leverage that on the SEO side, right?
Yeah.
And therein lies the beauty. You can put an SEO strategy in place, do your research, identify your keywords, try to build some content, build some backlinks, but you're not necessarily going to move the needle overnight in terms of volume of traffic and leads. So, I know this is kind of a versus PPC versus SEO, but I really do believe that it should be both.
Yeah.
How quickly can you get there? That's the question.
Yeah, the versus part of this is really just to there is a little conflict between PPC and SEO people in general sometimes. Like there is a little bit of back and forth, but it's really just, hey, what are we good at? Like what is our agency good at? We're really good at SEO, right? Like we like it, we're like really into it. We got like a bunch of writers back here and they're all click clacking away, they for some reason like writing about stuff like siding colors, you know what I mean? I don't know how you could really love that, but the point is whatever, we've started with what we really like, and some people are really good at ads. You guys are super good at ads for contractors, and I think it's good to have different strokes for different folks, and I believe in both. We do PPC for ourselves, so certainly it's not a real versus, but it's good to have, what is life without a little conflict? You know what I mean? That's why this video is about versus.
I think a lot of people want to be doing SEO, and there's this misconception that SEO is free. And it's not, because I know you guys don't work for free, right, Tim?
We don't, but you can do SEO for yourself for free, which is why it gets that idea. You can do blogging and you can learn about keyword research for free, which I suggest people, small businesses under $1 million, I suggest that they look into keyword research and they learn about it and then they blog. That's my suggestion, because I don't like having a website come to us that it hasn't been seasoned at all. It hasn't had any work at all done to it. So like, I want people to do this on their own a bit if they can in the meantime, even if it's just blogging a little bit.
So Tim, we agree. PPC, you can get traffic overnight. You can start generating leads quickly. The idea is you generate some revenue, but over time, you don't want to be solely reliant on that. You do want your website to organically be bringing in some traffic. You're getting indexed for the right terms. You're generating some leads, but what goes into doing that? I know a lot of people are, they're getting quotes for SEO, or maybe they're getting reports from a company that they're working with, but they don't really know how to quantify or, is what I'm paying for, is it bringing me value?
Yeah.
Is this SEO worth it? What's it doing for me?
Yeah. And to be honest, if I was one of those spammy SEO companies that we didn't do much, that would be a very hard question, and I would beat around the bush a lot with you. But because we do a lot, we do a lot every month for our SEO. It is our main thing, right? We do website design, but we also do a lot of SEO. It's the main part of our business, and we write a lot of content. So we have deliverables every month, right? We write a lot of content. We get links from other websites around the web back to your website, and that's a lot of times like guest posting or like a press release or local directory listings or something basic like that, but we get those on every month. And then we also make technical changes to the website to make sure that it's well structured and well ordered, but most companies will just do the third one, you know what I mean? And the problem with that is technical SEO is important, really important to be crawlable, but if that's the only thing that gets done, it's just a soft SEO program. It's not an aggressive SEO program. So our thing, as opposed to some of these companies, is a little bit more aggressive. It's more difficult because writing for a company is probably the most contentious thing you can do. But we don't shy away from it. I occasionally have an existential crisis about our ability to do that, right? Like, what am I doing? What are we doing? We're writing about, and sometimes kind of complicated stuff. But we do it, and it's difficult. And it's difficult for the people internally too. So it's never not difficult. But content is probably the biggest number one thing. Links is really, really close. And then for us, 20% of our effort is around the technical SEO. And we never waste people's time with all these audits. It's good to have an audit, right? Because we can see whether the traffic is going up, whether the leads are going up, whether there's things structurally incorrect about the website. But we don't want to get stuck there because those are only instructions. And if there's nothing done with the instructions, then you're gonna slow down. The effort that you've made previously, if you're only looking at audits, is gonna not be helping as much because it's just, you can't just look at what happened in the past and think that you're gonna move the needle with that. There has to be new effort on a regular basis, and to us, that's content and links.
So I mean, if we were to future cast a little bit here, if somebody
Yep.
mandates you guys to run an SEO program on their behalf, and you guys are, doing the on-page stuff, you're creating the content, you're building the backlinks. What does a year into this look like, or a year and a half? Like, what expectations?
Yeah, we buffer expectations a lot with people because we don't want to say crazy stuff, and then if we didn't hit that with you. But it really depends on where you're at currently. People with like 50 or less page views a day, we see 100%. We double people's traffic and sometimes double their leads. Our average client is not that far off from double traffic every year. So it's kind of intense. And I focus on both because traffic is a leading indicator, and leads, they go up somewhat with that. With SEO, it's a little different than PPC, right? Because I don't care as much about just conversion rate, like getting the highest percentage of people on the website to convert. I have to focus on conversions, the number from organic, just the number of conversions. Because if I double the traffic and the leads only go up 30%, I'm still very happy about that, right? Because what we see is that, creating a bunch of content on the website helps breathe life into this website and has a positive effect on the service pages, but it doesn't necessarily drive it as much as you drove up the traffic. It helps with them. It doesn't drive it as much as traffic. But I'm cool with that because I'm not focused on percentages. I'm focused on leads.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is really good. I think people will like this. Contractors are working with PPC companies, many of them there's waste. You know what I mean? You can't get rid of waste entirely, but what are some of the ways that you guys decreased waste on accounts to get higher, results for less money?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's definitely a lot of misconceptions in the world of marketing. There's people peddling advice that don't really know what they're talking about. And so sometimes you have conversations and someone will say, gee, the notion of paying for clicks, like that's old school. Pay per click, is that stuff still a thing? And I mean, I answer them, we wouldn't be in business if it wasn't, right? So it's the only thing that we do. In terms of eliminating waste, I mean, that's our job. We're there to optimize somebody's spend. So if a contractor comes and says, hey, I'm looking to scale, I want to scale with more predictability and more control. How do I do that? You need to have control over how you're generating leads. And ideally, you're able to determine with confidence how many leads you'll be able to generate this week, this month, this year. Otherwise, how do you hire people? How do you put the right people in the right place? You want to know if you've got 5 to 10 salespeople, you'll keep them busy with enough volume of leads. So that layer of predictability is important. So the notion of paid media, you're investing dollars online. Yes, you're buying traffic to a certain degree. You're letting a platform like Google know what you want to be showing up for based on people's intent. So it's a search engine. Someone is looking for something specific. You're showing them an ad. They click on that ad. Boom! It just costs you money. But who cares, right? It costs you money, but you brought somebody who's interested in what you offer to your webpage. Yeah. So the likelihood of you closing a deal should be better than if you were to just buy lists or buy leads and things that are not necessarily exclusive. So are you paying, and this is what I love, you might be getting leads, right? You might be getting a lot of leads from a specific set of keywords. But if you know that those keywords are driving leads that never turn into sales, now you've got insight, you've got data that can inform you into which keywords you should decrease your bids on or stop spending on altogether. We're bidding on keywords, we're getting clicks, we're getting leads. Great. What's happening with those leads? So we're always talking about lead cost, because it's the easiest thing to compare, right? Do I want $50 leads or $200 leads? I want whatever lead's going to give me the best closing rate and is going to have the lowest cost to acquire a customer. So therein lies the beauty of it. It's crystal clear. You can optimize your keywords. You can add negatives when you don't want to be showing up for certain things. You can tweak your ad copy, try to drive your conversion rates up. So we're hyper focused on conversion and testing, because hey, if I've got a page that converts at 7% and in a month I make a little tweak and it converts at now 8.5%, 9%. Okay, it's a nice little bump in conversion, but that could translate to an additional 30 leads in any given month. If we're spending 10 grand, that little tweak could pay for your whole marketing budget for the month. So the numbers are astronomical, but you're paying for clicks, and some people just don't like that, so they won't do pay-per-click.
And what I'm saying is you should be doing pay-per-click. To me, you should be doing Facebook. You should be doing organic. You should be doing truck wraps. You should be doing, you should be testing cold calling. You should be testing door knocking. You should be testing all these things. And then grow your business with the ones you like the most and the ones that crush it for you, because they all take time, they all take effort. And once you find a couple that you really like, you can scale your business. And people have scaled their business with organic. People have scaled their business with door knocking. People have scaled their business with PPC. And it's cool to watch that there's different ways to grow your business. Hey, Marc, it has been a great conversation with you. This has been roofing PPC versus roofing SEO, but we're not really versus each other. We like each other. Check out Webrunner Media if you're looking for PPC, the best in the business for contractors. And it's been Hook Agency, hookagency.com. All right, bye guys.
Thanks, Tim.